May chapter 70. Videl, you can continue your training here. I have some matters to attend to. If you get bored, feel free to chat with my mother, Goten said to Videl, sensing Whis' aura. With Whis' arrival on Earth, it was only natural for Goten as the host to welcome him, especially considering Whis' crucial role in helping him master Ultra Instinct. All right, you handle your business, Videl responded, nodding before resuming her training. Now that she could feel the Kai within her, her determination to train was invigorated. Goten then approached Krillin. Krillin, come with me. We're going to meet the guy who visited Earth last time. He might be able to help us master Ultra Instinct faster. Sure, Krillin agreed without hesitation. In an instant, they both vanished from Mount Paozu. Meanwhile, Whis had already appeared in the bustling streets of West City. Goten and Krillin materialized in front of him. Whis-san, why didn't you notify me when you arrived on Earth? As the host, I could have been your tour guide, Goten greeted Whis with a smile. Ah, Goten-san, your alertness is truly remarkable. You sensed my presence as soon as I arrived on Earth. Quite impressive, Whis responded with a smile. This was exactly what he wanted. He had come to Earth to taste its delicacies and to take Goten to the God Realm for training, as per Beerus's instructions before his slumber. Since you've discovered me, please take me to taste other delicacies on Earth. To be honest, ever since I tasted Earth's food a month ago, I've been obsessed with it. The food from other planets has become a bit hard to swallow. Whis continued, smiling. All right, happy to oblige. Goten agreed generously. Even if Whis didn't agree to train them, treating him to some delicious food was a simple task for Goten. Over the next 3 hours, Goten and Krillin guided Whis through West City, introducing him to most of the local delicacies. Seeing Whis devouring food without any regard for his image, Krillin couldn't help but feel sympathetic. Despite being the teacher of the most powerful god in the universe, a mere hamburger or sausage excited him immensely. After their meal, Whis made sure to pack a lot of food to take back. Goten-san, Krillin-san, thank you very much for spending such a long time shopping with me today. I'll be heading back now. Until next time, Whis said to Goten and Krillin. He didn't mention what Beerus had told him earlier, because he wanted to see if Goten and Krillin were interested in training in the God Realm. Whis-san, can you take us to your God Realm for training? Goten asked directly as Whis was about to leave. He knew that mastering Ultra Instinct on his own would take a long time, but with Whis' help, that period could be significantly shortened. Go to the God Realm? It's a bit difficult. After all, Beerus-sama did not agree, Whis responded, pretending to be hesitant. After a moment he continued, however, if you can prepare different delicacies for me every month, I can take you to the Hakeishin's God Realm for training, even at the risk of Beerus-sama scolding me. Anyway, he was already going to take them to the God Realm for training. It was better to blackmail them now, to get as many benefits he could get. This way, in the future, he would also be able to taste more delicacies from the Earth. This acting, it's too unconvincing. He was likely waiting for us to ask, Krillin thought in his heart with a dull face. Okay, I will handle it, Goten agreed immediately. He was well aware of the appeal of food to Beerus and Whis. Then let's go now, Whis announced, a look of anticipation on his face. Taking Goten and Krillin to the God Realm for training was originally Beerus's idea. The prospect of extorting some benefits in return was quite appealing to him. He wondered what kind of food Goten would choose next time. The thought was truly exciting. Under Whis' guidance, the trio took nearly half an hour to reach the God Realm. The distance from Earth to Beerus's God Realm was vast. Even with Whis' unrivaled speed, the journey took about 26 to 7 minutes. The God Realm of Beerus was a purple planet. The soil, the surrounding peaks, and even the flora were all purple. Even his palace was purple. Goten-san, Krillin-san, welcome, Whis greeted enthusiastically. He was quite happy at this moment. After all, he and Beerus had lived in this lonely god realm for hundreds of millions of years. With Beerus sleeping most of the time, Whis was often the only one in the god realm. Even angels could feel lonely. Now, with Goten and Krillin, the god realm would be less lonely and more lively for a while. Is this where the Hakaishin lives? Krillin looked around. Apart from the purple surroundings, there didn't seem to be anything special. Moreover, the gravity of the god realm seemed to be similar to that of Earth. Whis-san, you don't need to be so formal, please just use our names, Goten requested. After all, we are much younger than you. Goten was aware that Whis was an ancient being who had lived for hundreds of millions of years. Being addressed so politely by such a being felt somewhat unnatural to him. All right, Whis agreed readily. Garten Krillin, you may refer to me as Whis as well. He then turned to Goten and continued, Goten, I assume the purpose of your visit to the God Realm is to better master Ultra Instinct. During your last battle with Beerus-sama, you mastered the form of Ultra Instinct Sign. Given your personality, I believe your aim for coming here to train is to achieve the perfect Ultra Instinct. Hearing Whis's straightforwardness, Goten felt there was nothing to hide. He nodded and confirmed, Yes, I indeed want to master the perfect Ultra Instinct. I hope you can assist me with the training. You are very direct, Whis commented, but I appreciate your straightforwardness. For the first month, I will provide you with the most basic physical training. Goten, you must understand that Ultra Instinct requires a strong body as a foundation. To master the perfected state of Ultra Instinct, you also need strong physical support. Whis was very serious at this point. He knew that the benefits of basic training were far more than that. During Goten's last battle with Beerus, he discovered that Goten's Super Saiyan transformation was an increase in basic strength. That is to say, the stronger his basic strength, the stronger he would become after transformation. Understood. Please begin. Both Goten and Krillin responded seriously. Not everyone was qualified to be trained by Whis. Well, but you must be prepared. My next training will be very dangerous and very challenging, Whis warned with a mysterious smile. He then tapped his staff lightly on the ground. The ground, which was full of potholes just now, turned into a very flat runway in an instant. In front of the two of them, a large weight appeared. Today's training is for the two of you to run 100 kilometers with this weight, Whis instructed. Is this an iron block? Krillin asked with some doubt. Is this kind of training effective? For ordinary people, such an iron block might be very heavy. But for those with their level of strength, especially Goten and Krillin, it was nothing. But Goten didn't think so. In the original Dragon Ball Super, Goku and Vegeta also received such training. Their strength at that time was far stronger than Krillin's now. The iron block in front of them might look like nothing, but it was definitely very heavy. Whis also knew their strength, so naturally he would not fool them with a mere piece of iron. Sure enough, upon hearing Krillin's doubtful tone, Whis quickly clarified. Krillin, don't underestimate this object, he said. This is no ordinary iron block. I've specially crafted it to match the extreme strength you two possess. In other words, you must exert your maximum strength to lift it. He continued. The moment your training begins, the path behind you will gradually disappear. If your speed decreases, you'll fall into another dimension forever, unable to escape. Now prepare yourselves. As Whis's voice faded, Goten and Krillin barely had time to process his words. Whis lightly tapped his staff, and a golden halo instantly spread out. The ground behind the two began to vanish rapidly, leaving an unfathomable abyss in its wake. Let's go, Krillin, Goten said, his expression serious. After much effort, they finally managed to lift the massive iron block. Just lifting it had them breaking into a sweat. Darn! It's too heavy, Krillin grimaced. I underestimated it. But to avoid falling into the alternate dimension, they gritted their teeth and pushed forward. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into a month. Every day, Goten and Krillin performed the most basic training. Goten refrained from using any Super Saiyan transformation, focusing solely on basic training. His hard work paid off as he felt his basic combat power improve significantly. He knew that once he transformed into a Super Saiyan, his strength would increase even more. In addition to their daily training, they also sparred with Whis. Unfortunately, he hadn't acquired any angel abilities yet. Goten understood that good things take time. Goten, Krillin, today's basic training involves running 5,000 kilometers in a weighted suit, followed by 15 push-ups, Whis announced one morning. With a wave of his staff, bulky suits materialized on Goten and Krillin. They resembled astronaut uniforms, but the immense gravity nearly crushed them. This was the gravity calibrated to their full strength. "You two can start," Whis said with a smile. As Goten and Krillin dashed off like lightning, Whis found a comfortable spot and began to enjoy some food. The past month had been lively, a stark contrast to the monotony of hundreds of millions of years ago. As an angel, Whis quite enjoyed the lively atmosphere. An hour later, the weighted long-distance run was over. Next came the weighted push-ups. These were no ordinary push-ups. They had to invert their bodies and use only one thumb to complete tens of thousands of push-ups. Despite the difficulty, they had no complaints. They were determined to become stronger. 99,998. Krillin counted, his voice strained. 99,999. They were drenched in sweat, but they persevered. Just as they were about to complete the last push-up, Whis suddenly looked up at the sky, his brow furrowing. A brilliant stream of light descended from the sky, causing the entire God Realm to tremble violently. Goten and Krillin, already exhausted, were knocked to the ground. "Hey! Why is Champa-sama here?" Whis muttered, raising an eyebrow.